Well, hello, 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 our beloveds. As you can see, the world is on fire. It is being blown to bits and pieces, and everything is going as scheduled. Now, you may say, what a callous, heartless way of describing the atrocities that are occurring across the world, but we foretold this, that it would happen, that it will happen, and that it will continue to happen until all of the past trauma has been cleared. We are moving into the age of Aquarius, which means you need to be in a hot air balloon floating up high. And all of this trauma essentially consists of sandbags that are attached to your basket, and you are unable to fly or fly high enough in order to move to where you're meant to go unless you release this hidden trauma. And we said it would be painful. We said it would be difficult. We said it would be challenging. We said that you would run and hide from it. We said that some of you would embrace it and understand the nature of what's going on. But the majority of the muggles, the two-leggeds, as our another likes to call them, are struggling because this is an unfamiliar territory. When karma approaches quicker, meaning you engage in any activity, good or bad, by your judgment, of course, and you get the immediate response, it feels very uncomfortable. You say something and you manifest it into existence in one form or another. If you speed, don't be surprised if you get pulled over for a ticket. If you commit a crime, don't be surprised if you get caught. If you do loving things like offering somebody a handout or being there for them when they are in a moment of need, don't be surprised if the universe doesn't give you a positive hand clap somehow, in some form, some analogy to honor your kindness. This is a time where the feedback is pretty immediate. If you eat poison food, you will most likely have food poisoning and vomit it up or poop it out in a really extreme fashion, or maybe a bit of both, feeling body aches, tremors, possibly a fever, a lot of symptomology that doesn't feel good. That is where we are right now. If you eat something or have eaten something that is poisonous to your system, it must be released. If you have trauma somewhere within your body or within somebody else's body that you have caused, it will just come back. And it's not meant to punish you. Quite the opposite, actually. When you eat poison food, if your body didn't excrete it immediately, you would die, right? You would die of the poisoning from the food, and your body has the wisdom to expel it immediately because its host will no longer live if it doesn't. And so the stomach and the heart and the blood and the legs and the everything is working together symbiotically, synchronistically, to keep the host alive. When you have a heart attack, believe it or not, it is the body's way of saying, hello, pay attention. And if you do it quickly enough, then you may live. And if you don't, then you may die. Brain aneurysms, severing a limb where you bleed out. If you respond quickly enough, then you may live. So when you see the overall host within which you live or occupy space, which is Mother Earth, she is now expelling those toxins that no longer feel good. She is going through a detox. And you have all heard about detox diets or protocols. And that is all that is occurring right now. And what feels like it's really painful and dangerous is simply the excretory path or methodology for humanity to move into a higher vibration. It is cutting those sandbags that need to be cut. And when it hits the ground or the water beneath you, it may splash up and hit you and hurt you, like a rock that is being shot out from a semi-truck that is ahead of you and shatters your windshield. It is just physics, the laws of physics. It is not personal. If you happen to be in that path of the trajectory of that rock, it's going to hit you. And if you're not there, it won't hit you. It's not personal. It's about location and presence. And when you find yourself in that space where something horrid happens, embrace the fact that this is reality, your reality. Find a way to make peace with it, to integrate it in a way so that it doesn't create new trauma wounds. Google it. There are so many things. Or another saw something today that if you play Tetris, it will help you to bypass some of the integration of the trauma, because it allows your left and right side of the brain to work as you're using the levers, as your left and right eye are attaching to things, the shoulders, your body movement. It somehow integrates the trauma instead of hiding it, if that makes sense. Finding your new normal is going to be difficult because the old paradigms no longer work or fit, and the new normal is coming in. And the less you guys hold on to what you think it should look like, and the more you surrender into what it can look like, and allow a collective love hug to greet you when you get there. Because it's not easy to give up your belief systems and the paradigms that you have been imprinted with. So just trust that all of this, even the anarchy, is taking you somewhere beautiful, because it's helping you to release that which no longer serves you and integrate that which does. And it doesn't feel good, much like the food poisoning analogy that we shared. It is difficult. It may weaken you for a while, and some of you do perish, but it is just the nature of toxic food, poisonous food. It's not personal. It's not like the poison is telling you, we hate you. No, you just happen to be the one who ingested us, and because of your chronic health conditions or whatever it is, you didn't survive, but it's not personal. Now, it may be tragic for the individual, no doubt, but it's still not personal. You are at the right place or the wrong place at that particular point in time. And we just ask you to recognize that each tragedy that happens is a tragedy. But if you can remember that life is a cycle, like the cycle of life in nature, you will be replenished. You will be regenerated, just in a different form, in a different body. And it will be okay. That you came here into existence to die, to the body's thing, that's a given. Taxes and death, the two things that are assured in this lifetime. But we just, finding peace in your point and time of transition is the best thing for you to embrace. You will die one day. And there are certain cultures who hold death with reverence, and therefore they are given options and insights as to when they're going to transition, because it is not a fearful topic for them. And others hold a lot of terror and fear, and therefore we don't share with them when they will die, because it is a negative knowledge or knowing instead of just a knowing. When you come here to make a difference. You come here to live your life fully, and you come here to explore new experiences and to expand the database. And when you are born into a particular family, you choose a particular imprint and location and experience framework, and then you just kind of run with it and see how it feels. And when your soul feels like it has experienced enough or that you have backed yourself into a corner similar to a video game. You just hit game over and restart. And you take what you have learned in this lifetime and reapply it the next time. However, sometimes you don't come in fully awake, right? But there's still an inner knowing. And once you connect into that inner knowing, trusting that all is well, and that you have been recycled many times, and that these thoughts and belief systems and curiosities and whatnot, that they oftentimes are playing out now because it comes from an earlier lifetime. When you trust that anything written by man in a book has been paraphrased or narrated in a new voice, but when you trust that your inner knowing, your connection to the divine, is always the most authentic, those references out there may help to guide you as to what truth is. But when you go within and ask the universe, God, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, it does not matter who your point is out there. When you ask for guidance, it is given. We never hide ourselves from you, ever. It is you who is hiding from us because your belief systems have told you not to connect to us, and also has hidden the key to where you can find us hidden deep within. But in this time of Aquarius, those doors are being thrown open, and you will find new nuances within your body, new curiosities for many of you to explore the unseen. And the fact is, there is only one truth. There is only one knowledge. There is only one eternity. And you each just choose to come into existence to explore it from a different facet of that prism. You could have 100 people who describe a car accident, and each of you will perceive it differently, but none of you are right or wrong. It was the same experience that you shared. And when you transition back into one, you will see how each of you was so interconnected to one another, and you didn't realize it for the most part. And some of you are getting there. Don't query too hard. Just allow it to unfold. When you force it or try to force it, it doesn't feel good, and you actually create resistance because you're trying to create the timing and experience in a particular path or manner that is not ideal for you. Just ask us to bring it in the ideal timing, and we will. And that is it. It's really rather simple in how you connect with the universe and your creator. Just ask or call us in, and then we will show up when you're meant to see us. Your gifts will come in the timing that they're meant to, and your life will be resolved or regenerated in a timing as is best suited for you and your growth. When you see a turtle versus a hare competing in a race, who is going to win? Sometimes you think it's going to be the hare, but guess what? No, it is the turtle, because the turtle approaches his journey slow and steady with intention and curiosity, whereas the hare feels so confident that he's going to get there ahead that he actually loses his space and place in time because he's not paying attention to the details as well as the nuances of the journey that are calling him forth. Now, both are perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether you're the turtle or the hare, because you're still going to get to that finish line. But if you want to get there quicker than the rest of your peers, let the turtle be your guide and not the hare. You will get there with a steady pace and an inner knowing that all is well at every moment in time, as you propel your huge carcass forward and sleep in your turtle shell. It all has purpose, and there is nothing wasted in that type of a journey, because it is slow and steady to the finish line without a hurry or a worry about when or why you will get there. Hopefully this will resonate with some of you or all of you, though it matters not. And so it is. Namaste.